From the National Weather Service in Raleigh, Nick Petro. Briefing number 7, 4:30 p.m. Friday, January 28th. And the big change, well, I guess it's a slight change, really, because it's just a small downward adjustment, but it's a downward adjustment nevertheless. Downward adjustment to our snow amounts. So let's jump right into radar, because I think, we're watching this unfold, and this is live radar. And you're probably thinking, well, I'm looking out the window, but I don't see any rain. No rain, it's green over me. But this is basically over much of central North Carolina. The green that you see represents rain falling out of the cloud, but not reaching the ground because it dries up. But the atmosphere above us is so dry. And that's what's going to set the stage for such a quick changeover to snow. Because as that rain falls out of the cloud and dries up, it has an effect of cooling the atmosphere. We call that evaporational cooling. All right, so here is just a higher resolution of what we were just looking at here. And yeah, clearly if I turn off the precip identifier, you can see it's raining along the coast, along and east of Highway 17. And that's the rain associated with the coastal low. But the precip we're looking at to our west, again, much of that's not hitting the ground yet. And it's slowly moistening the atmosphere, and it's rain. So anyway, and I just put that in the loop, and you'll see rain because look at these temperatures. These are live temperatures here, and we're still in the mid 40s across much of central North Carolina. You have to go back west of Mount Airy, actually over into the mountains, quite frankly, in foothills, before you see a changeover to snow. Now, this changeover is going to, evolve eastward with time. So we're already seeing temperatures dipping into the upper 30s here along the northern I-77 corridor, and look for that trend to continue. Hopefully, it won't take too long to load up a loop here, but you can see the gradual eastward shift. If it'll allow me here, bandwidth will allow me. You can see just a gradual eastward shift in that changeover from rain to snow. All right, so while we're here on this product that I like to use, let me turn off the radar and let me turn on the simulated radar. So what the models are basically thinking that the radar will look like with time. And the beauty with this program, I can always load in the most recent, and the high-res rapid refresh model is one that updates every hour. So anyway, that's incredibly helpful to us. What time is it? It's 4:30, of course. So that would be basically 21:30 Zulu. So I'm backing up here to 22, and you can see this model is doing reasonably well with its initialization. With that rain snow line just west of Mount Airy, and that's where the rain snow line is now. So let's see how what it suggests as we go forward in time. So 22Z is 5 p.m., 6 p.m. right here. This is 7 p.m., this is 8 p.m., this is 9 p.m. And finally, by 9 p.m., this model shows that we have a quick changeover along and north of Interstate 85 here in central North Carolina. And then here's 10 p.m., 11 p.m., 12 p.m., midnight, or 12 a.m., I'm sorry, midnight, 12 a.m., 1 a.m. Saturday, 2 a.m. Saturday, 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m. That's as far out as it goes. So, as you can see, it takes a while to get going. In fact, it hangs on to rain quite a while along 85, Interstate 85, south of Greensboro, and then finally changes over. And it's almost like so much of it's taking a lot of dry air to really transition in things over, that perhaps there's not much precip left after it's all said and done. Anyway, but then it fills back in the middle of the night. So this is after midnight. This is 2 a.m. So don't be fooled that you're not going to get any snow. It just may not be as much because we'll have a smaller window of time for the snow to accumulate. Okay. But you can see there clearly by 2 a.m. almost all of central North Carolina will be under a band of snow, and you can see somewhere in, and I'm not saying this is going to be right exactly here, but basically the point is that there's little pockets of heavier amounts, just scattered around, and that's not unusual. That's really typical of any precipitation cloud, right? Where you have slight variations. So somewhere within here, there's going to be slightly higher amounts, and there'll be a lot of places that get less than they're expecting. Okay, so this is 4 a.m. tomorrow morning, 5, 6, 7, 8 a.m. So anyway, let me show you a different model. This is the North American model. This one has just updated and just came in. So let's get to where we're at right now. And we can see this model is a little bit on the aggressive side with that changeover to snow. And as we go through, this is 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m. So it has snow at Winston-Salem by 7 p.m., whereas the other model I just showed was more like 9 p.m. Okay, so this is 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m., midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., and basically getting out of here. So, again, I think there's two things to take away, okay? Because both of those models were pretty similar, right? We'll just go back and use the high-res rapid refresh just because I like that model and it's updated most frequently. All right, so the takeaway, right? We're going to start out as rain in the triad. And then it's going to take till 7, 8, maybe 9 p.m. before it changes to snow, like you see right there. And then it just gradually, the snow line gradually shifts south, and then it becomes off and on. So this evening, this time frame right here is 11 p.m. So like I mentioned yesterday, maybe I mentioned it this morning. If you are east of US 1, okay, I think this evening, if you have plans, everything's going to be fine in terms of travel, maybe evening, games to go to or evening activities, Friday evening activities. I think if you're east of US 1, you're going to be fine. Really until that snow moves east. But if you're west of US 1, that's where it's tricky. And when is snow going to start accumulating? Well, it's hard to say. I mean, exactly when it switches from rain to snow, it's going to be west of US 1, it's going to be sometime between 7 and 9 p.m. If you're south of Highway 64 and west of US 1, so if you're right in this corridor right here, it's going to take a little while before the rain changes to snow. So you may in fact be okay if you're south, if you're in Stanley County, Anson County, Richmond County, Montgomery, or more, you might be okay till 10 or 11. But if you're north of 64 and west of US 1, this is sort of the quadrant, if you will, of central North Carolina that I would be most concerned with about people being able to safely get home from evening activities. Okay. So, I mean, unless people are home by 6 o'clock, then there's nothing to worry about. But I'm talking about evening activities that run in, past 7 or 8 o'clock. That's the area that I would be most concerned about. Our folks can be able to get home okay. All right. And clearly, bridges and overpass, elevated surfaces are going to be the first to accumulate snow. All right, and then once we get past midnight, then all travel bets are off. Things could really whoops, wrong pointer here. Sorry. Let me that's where I want to be. And then after midnight, look how it all fills in, right? That's 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. It just all of central North Carolina fills in. Okay, so hopefully nobody will be driving in the middle of the night anyway, and and tomorrow morning we'll just have to wait and see, who were those pockets? Where were those pockets rather? That get the localized heavier amounts. But I think all of central North Carolina will have the opportunity to see up to 1 inch of snow. Some spots could see up to 2 inch, and there could be 2 or 3 lucky spots that see 3 inches of snow. All right. And again, so very little change to our forecast overall. All right. There's two more things I added to this hazard list. I added extreme cold and I added black ice. Snow, hazardous travel, wind, and power outages. We've been talking about that for days. We are obviously still expecting the winds to pick up tonight and remain rather windy and gusty at times right through the daytime hours tomorrow. That could give us a few power outages. But what that's also going to do is give us some extreme cold by way of wind chill values dropping into the teens during the daytime Saturday and single digits Saturday night. Quite frankly, the best way to avoid all of this is just to plan on staying home. Obviously some folks have to work on the weekends and we don't have a choice. So you want to take extreme caution, make sure you give extra time for travel, make sure you have a storm, a safety kit in your car. But if you don't have to go anywhere, that's the best way to stay warm. Stay home, and that'll avoid travel problems too, particularly Saturday night as well. To the extent that you can help it. That's the message I'm trying to tell folks is that that's the best way to stay safe, especially not only in the snow but also the cold. All right, black ice will be a problem Saturday night and Sunday night as well, into Sunday morning and Monday morning. But again, that'll be dependent on where the heaviest snow falls. Okay, so this is a pretty self-explanatory. I'll let you take a look at this when I email the slides. Really no change on this timeline. I did put in here very similar reflectivity simulations. I think it's fair to say that these simulations here are pretty much exactly what I outlined just a few minutes ago using the other software. I mentioned somewhere between 7 and 9, it'll change over to snow in the triad, and I'm showing it here at 8. So, that's a good approximation, somewhere between 7 and 9. All right, and then it just, moves east. It kind of congeals and moves east overnight, and then it exits east of I-95 by 8 a.m. Tomorrow morning, and it's pretty much getting ready to move off the coast by 10 a.m. All right. Now, how much? This was the map I was waiting to generate here, and why I had to start a moment or two late. So here's our snowfall map. So right now we think the heaviest snow will fall west of the US 1 corridor. Okay, and I did a terrible job drawing the US 1 corridor, but basically that's it right there. 1 to 2 inches of snow we think is a good bet west of US 1. East of US 1, we think it could be up to an inch. Now, there could be a few pockets scattered here, that's a little bit more. And again, I would try to, if you're in the very southeast corner of Wake County, I mean, we're just not that good to say that spot right there is going to see a little bit more than 5 miles away, right, on either side. It's just that's a nature of the map drawing, and that's also a nature of what I've been trying to say here, which is there will be isolated pockets of higher amounts. Okay, so that higher amount may end up in Goldsboro, it may not. It may be up in Wilson. It's just hard to say. It might be down in Clinton, where there's an isolated pocket where you have slightly more. But in terms of more generalized accumulation, we think it's going to be a 1 to 2 inch swath west of US 1 and an up to 1 inch east of US 1. Okay, so that's the change since this morning. I think this morning we had a pretty broad brush of 1 to 3 inches. I think is pretty much what we were, calling for. All right. Now, again, I think this is probably a good way of stating it. This is more than a nuisance event, okay, but less than what we had last weekend. Okay, so don't think we're off the hook here. 1 to 2 inches of snow can cause some travel problems and some subsequent black ice. Even an inch of snow can cause some travel hazards and subsequent black ice issues. So I would say this is definitely more than a nuisance event, but probably not as bad as what we saw last weekend. All right. What else do we have here? Winds, maximum wind gusts. We could see winds gusting, above 35 miles per hour. Again, don't be surprised if your power goes out. I do want to express my concern for some extreme cold tomorrow. Look at these wind chill values for Saturday on the left, and these are wind chill values on the right for Saturday night into Sunday morning. So, if you have to go outside, dress in layers, make sure you have extra layers, have a blanket in your car, Make sure you have lots of layers. Make sure you have that. This is the night and the day to wear that bulky, heavy winter coat with lots of layers underneath. Okay, so anyway, keep that in mind. All right, black ice. This is an example of what black ice might look like. You really can't see it. It looks like a wet road, but it's actually frozen. Okay, so that thaw and refreeze cycle will give us a black ice concern Saturday night into Sunday morning and Sunday night into Monday morning, both mornings. Where is it possible? Anywhere across central North Carolina, but the most likely place where it'll happen will be where the heaviest snow falls. Okay, so obviously, during those situations, you want to reduce speed and allow extra travel time. This paragraph or these bullet points kind of summarize it all. So in the interest of saving some time here, I'm not going to read all these here, but you can certainly download this set of slides. If you're not on our email list, you can go to weather.gov/Raleigh, and right at the top of the page, there's a gray banner at the top. You can click the download button, and it'll download these slides. Or for our folks who are on the email list, you'll get these here within the next 10 or 15 minutes. But again, rain changing to snow this evening, a pretty good band swath of snow moving across central North Carolina overnight. A general 1 to 2 inch snow event, that's what I can describe this as. The heaviest amounts west of US 1. Okay, a couple spots that get a little bit more. It's hard to say right now where those will be. Black ice will be subsequently a concern the next couple nights. Pretty windy, 25 to 35 miles per hour. Don't be surprised if your power goes out. That should be pretty isolated, though. And then watch out for that extreme cold, those very low wind chill values tomorrow and tomorrow night. Okay, so best thing I could tell you is if you don't have to go anywhere, the best thing to do is just stay put, stay home. Stay warm. That's how you stay warm. Even if you don't get that much snow, okay, it's still going to be hazardously cold. And the best way to stay safe is to just take one day and enjoy it at home, and to the extent that you can. All right. I think that's it for this briefing. We're going to do one more briefing tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Kind of an event wrap up where we focus on temperatures in black ice. This is our last live webinar before the snow actually falls. But we will try to provide short fused updates, single slide updates, and small posts throughout the evening as the snow is falling to the extent that we can. And as always, I want to remind folks when the snow is done falling, so 9 o'clock tomorrow, before the sun really comes out and starts melting it, if you could take a ruler, go outside, find a flat spot, measure that snow, maybe, avoid drifts, out in the open area, take a measurement, maybe take a couple measurements and average it together to find out the average reading. Okay, on a flat surface like a picnic table, if you have to use your grass, that's fine, but take a couple measurements and average it. Okay, but when the snow's done falling, if you could take that measurement and give us either a call or email it to us at nws.raleigh, nws.raleigh@noaa.gov. Or you can send it to us via Twitter or Facebook. For our core partners who are NWS chat, you can send it to us via chat. Or you could just post it here on the live webinar if you're attending that tomorrow as well. But we always need measurements. And again, make sure you take that measurement if you can before the sun comes out, after the snow stops falling, but before the sun comes out, so we can catch it before any of it melts. All right. Well, thanks so much. I appreciate everybody's attendance with this series of winter storm webinars, and I wish everybody safety throughout the duration of this event and thereafter.